Hello, and welcome to the 8th and final game of this limited Sabbat Chronicle, A Bit of Ultraviolence. As a warning, for the last time, this is an adult game dealing with dark and potentially triggering subject matter. If something feels like it's too much for you, feel free to take a break, skip a scene, come back later, or whatever's best for you. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and meet our cast again, starting off with Ellie.
Hi everyone, I am Ellie and I'm playing Christina the La Sombra.
And Zach.
Hi, I'm Zachary Vaudo playing Dante Edmonds, the Zamisi.
And Andrew.
I'm Andrew Strother, I'm playing Ezra Cohen, the Ventru.
And Sam.
I'm joking now. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
It's so good.
I'm Samantha McClarty and I am playing Bright, the Malkavian.
Good. And our special returning guest for tonight, Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay, and I will be reprising the role of Oliver Larkin.
And I am your storyteller for this evening, Lex. So, let's get started. When we left our pack last week, they were in a bad way. They'd received their summons from Larkin to the prince's private haven, the Candlewick Hotel, deep in the old money side of town. Christina had been shadow-stepped to a new location with the sheriff, and sold a little bit of her closely held power to him in exchange for Ezra's eternal safety, and then run from him into the unfamiliar streets of wherever he had taken her. Wright and Dante were left alone to battle the Scourge, a fight that left Wright jawless, bleeding, and in torpor on the ground. Dante finished the job, though it was no easy feat, and was turning his attentions to the fallen packmate. And Ezra had been abandoned by friend and enemy alike, left to rage at the audacity and disrespect of it all. So let's go ahead and pick up with Dante and Wright. Wright, you are in torpor. Dante, your arms are full of nothing now, as the last vestiges of the Scourge fade to dust and blow across the well-manicured grounds. What will you be doing?
Well, first things first, I'm taking my hands and just running them down my face to basically vicissitude tattoo those lines that Magnuson had down his face as a additional trophy to go with everybody else that I've helped kill tonight. And once that's done, just where would I find? And I'm looking for the jaw in the grass.
Search for jaw roll. Let's get a wits and investigation, please.
Okay. 3 successes out of 3.
3 successes out of 3? So it's actually not very difficult to find the jaw. It's the thing that looks like a jaw.
Narrows it down.
So there is a lump of bloody flesh lying on the ground not far from where you took down the Scourge, as well as some ashes.
It's been manually ripped off. How intact does it look? Am I going to have to make any adjustments?
Most likely. The jaw bone itself is still intact pretty well, along with some lumps of flesh. Mm-hmm. But you did see when he attacked her that he got hold of sort of the whole lower half of her mouth, which took her tongue with it. And you do not see a severed tongue lying around. But when you go to pick the jaw up, there is a large and particularly grumpy-looking toad that seems to be putting its amphibipaw on it, trying to steal this jaw.
I'll just look at it, recognizing it as popping up when we were trying to do our plan. Just go, you know you're going to have to pay for that. And I'm immediately going to stick it in the head with the claws on my fingers. Just pierce the skull. Yep. And then with it skewered, I'm going to walk back with frog and jaw to torpored right and just go, Well, since you're not going anywhere, it's going to take a little bit of effort, and I apologize for the oddness this is going to bring about, but I waggle the carcass of the frog. We make do with what we need to do, and I'm going to push the jaw back into place, press the frog against it, and I'm going to fleshcraft to fuse the jaw back in, and then anything that's missing, tongue, skin, etc., is going to be melded from the frog and mixed in.
All right, an amphibian-based skin graft. I like it.
I do not get hungrier. And that is 5 successes. I imagine in torpor is not resisting, so that's a success. And yeah, I'm resculpting.
Okay.
I'm resculpting because I know that once she has the ability to, she's gonna have to attempt to force herself awake to feed, because I don't think I can just wake her up like that.
Mm-hmm. When you're doing this vicissituting, are you making any kind of changes or anything, or are you just, for all intents and purposes, just remaking right as you last saw her as closely as you can?
I'm doing it as closely as I can, but there is a want of artistic flair to it. Mm-hmm. So the Scourge made a comment, disparaging comment, about wanting to take out her tongue. So I'm going to make it longer and more menacing. I'm going to make the jaw a bit sharper. I'm going to just sort of up the intimidation factor a bit, make it a bit more signature to myself.
Okay. So of course all of this goes pretty much according to plan. You're very good at what it is you do here. It's quite aesthetically pleasing to you. We'll see how aesthetically pleasing it is to Wright when she manages to maybe fight her way out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can you go ahead and make me a resolve and awareness to hop on out of this torpor?
I got 4.
4? All right. So as Dante is sort of smoothing the last of this skin back over your lower face, you feel these changes as you're fighting your way back towards consciousness again. Are you gonna feed her or anything, Dante? Because she was being fed on when she fell to torpor.
Yes, the intention is to give her a jaw back so that she can feed, because since she has to pop up herself to feed, if I just give her blood, she's not going to wake up. But if she's in that instinctive wake up, I think it'll actually stick.
Okay.
So when she has the ability to bite.
So coming out of this right, can I go ahead and get a willpower check from you to see just how well we take this little wake-up call?
I am covered in blood after all.
Oh dear. And I used a lot of willpower recently.
And that's the story of how Dante died to write.
I appreciate you, buddy. I got 2.
All right. So you're not going to succumb to frenzy from this, but it is jarring to the extreme as the last thing you felt was this fight with the Scourge, and now someone is not just touching you, but doing something to your face, which is where you were being attacked.
And as she wakes up, I'm just going to immediately just press the inside of my arm against the reforming mouth and just go, hang in there, just drink a little bit.
And I'm just
get your strength
biting down.
And I'm going to let about 2 hunger slip out of me since I'm at 0 before I remove it, to at least take her down to 3. After that, she's got to figure it out on her own. I've only got so much.
Yeah. And blood's been in such small supply this night.
Mm-hmm. So once I'm down a couple, I'm just gonna like plant my hand on her forehead and just pull off. Let's go.
Are you gonna let him do that, right? Are you gonna let him pull away?
If it takes me down to 3, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, if it takes me down to at least 3, then yeah, I can control my shit at 3. I've done it a few times already.
So yeah, since he did take you down to just the 3 hunger, you are capable of, when he starts pulling away, it becomes clear that this is not still an attack that's ongoing, that this is Dante, so you're able to release your bite. Your mouth feels different, and it tastes different. Your skin feels different when you touch it.
Welcome back.
Explain?
He had some nasty claws that didn't quite leave enough material. I had to improvise, but don't worry. You give it time, you start doing the methods to repair yourself, and it should fix itself in no time. Force out a little bit of what I put in. But for now...
What'd you put in? I didn't go to put in.
There's too much tongue in your mouth, right?
I don't know.
Consider it a temporary holdover. Like I said, you take the time to heal yourself, it'll all start shifting back to normal. For now, you're functional and you're back up.
Where did that bastard go?
And I just sort of gesture to the lines running down my face that are reminiscent of his. Let's go. And as I do, Dante's face like is sunken in, like under the eye sockets, in the cheekbones. Even with the smile, it's just in, and it's almost a skull at this point.
You know, Dante, buddy, I really appreciate that. However, I don't know how many more of those you can do without, you know, burning out a bit.
We are all vessels with the beast piloting us, and we go where the beast goes.
I guess that's fair, to each their own. Please tell me that you like made him some kind of gross thing and you gave him like a really big hug and like tore him from like turned his insides outside and like made him like aware that it was all happening. And
I didn't have enough time for that creativity. He was trying to do to you what I was doing to him, but if it makes you feel better, I did solidify his throat up to his teeth so he could stop drinking from you.
Fuck that guy.
A little bit of
I kind of
creativity.
want to wipe out his entire lineage now.
Oh, I don't think we have time for that. We have to go collect our
Not
others.
tonight, but like I can make a list.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't do much about healing you. That's going to be on you, as is any other hunger that you need to satiate. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, I'd say just make sure you stay back and behind people.
I'm okay. I'll be alright. It's okay. It's not the first time that I've been down before. Clearly, not gonna be the last. I have you to thank for that. See, knew I could count on you. And speaking of that, where the fuck is Ezra and Christina?
They were heading inside with another strange man as you were being attacked and I was rolling away. I imagine they're still in there. Or they're dead. It could go either way.
I suppose we should probably check that out. Should we like come up with some kind of plan just in case? Because don't really want to lose my new jaw.
My plan is to completely obliterate whoever's in there that is not on our side.
Right about that moment, a chair comes smashing through one of the front windows and just kind of like, breaks into pieces on the lawn in front of the house.
Let's look at that and go.
Good. You know,
Still could go either way.
I kind of like the fact that we're just not going to try to do this, because, this past time, we just tried to do a plan, it didn't go very well. Usually when we don't plan things, it goes better. Let's stick to that. Fuck
Like
Ezra
I
and
said.
Christina's planning necessity thing.
Like I said, we are vessels, vestigial vessels for the beast. It's best to follow instinct, I find.
Alright.
Or at least it's more fulfilling.
Let's go fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wrap my arm around Dante and...
And I'll-
back to her perky self.
And we'll walk into the building. I'm just waiting to tear the flesh off of the first person I see that is not somebody I know.
Fair enough. So you guys start heading in towards the building, and we are going to hop over to Christina real quick. Christina.
Yes, Christina.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the second that I started running from the sheriff, I started shadow stepping.
Mhm.
Just as much as I can, not giving a fuck. The point is to get back to Ezra as fast as humanly possible.
Okay. Can I get a wits and awareness for you to figure out the best way to get back to this?
Okie dokie.
Excuse me.
I don't have a maraca quite like everybody else. 4 with a crit.
4 with a crit. So you shadow step a few times to get mostly away from wherever it is you were taken. And after a few boings of oblivion, let's say, because I feel like that's appropriate for Christina, you see in the distance that aggressively tall tower. The one that's erect up right up into the sky that started your whole descent down this rabbit hole. But even more so than that, you see that the sky behind the city is lit up in orange.
Fuck.
And there is smoke rising into the sky. And you continue to shadow step your way into the city. You pop to this tower, staying to the shadows, I assume.
Yeah.
There is a dozen police cars surrounding the bottom of this tower. And you boing again further into the city to El Dolore, where there's a dozen news vans outside with pretty blonde reporters speaking to their cameras about the drug-laden tragedy that might shut down this local landmark for good this time. And you boing once more to the Fizzy Izzy, where you had your brief flirtation with your Toreador friend. There's a single fire truck outside, spraying down the still smoldering wreckage of this building. It is clear that the 4 of you have destroyed this city, and Zan's words about how this will never quite be the utopia it once was ring in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You did this. You all did this.
Yeah.
And you obliviboing once more back to the Candlewick Hotel's lobby, where you'll be joining Ezra just a moment after Dante and Wright do. So Ezra, your rage has come to an end. It was never quite a full-on frenzy. And that young woman is standing in front of you, holding out a steaming, clean white towel that smells vaguely of lavender.
Yeah. That's great. I'll I just kind of take it from her and go and sit on one of the bar stools and just like put my face down in it and just like breathe heavy in, deep breath, and that's probably where I will be whenever they come walking in.
Okay. So Dante and Wright, you come in and find Ezra just like that. The room is thrashed.
Oh, good. It's the better option.
What was the worst option?
You're dead.
We're dead.
I am actually dead.
You know what I mean.
I do. Yeah.
Are you
no,
okay? Are you okay? Okay, because it looks like there was a person. You followed the person in here. Next thing you're like, I'm gonna assume you threw the chair. So what? Are they invisible? Are they invisible?
They're not invisible. Oh god, they're shit. And you're looking on. I'm like, please no, come on. They're not invisible. No one's invisible. Who did or did not throw the chair is not important. What matters is that the chair is now outside and we can all move past it.
That means you threw the chair.
Definitely through the chair. Did you
So
do the
we're
rest of
missing-
this too?
We're missing a person that you were tracking. We're missing Christina. There she is.
I was about to say, did you piss her off again? Or did she run off with the other guy?
She fucking ran off with the other guy. I mean, I assume that's how it works.
I
right?
wasn't serious! Christina!
And I said, how do you reappear? How does that look?
She probably she's coming out of the shadow since she's been shadow stepping repeatedly. She's coming out just exhausted, full on, almost falling out of the shadows, running and then realizing she's at her destination a half second too late. She's like, duh, duh, duh. Hey.
You got this habit of disappearing. I don't know if you've picked up on that. The thing that you do.
I'm gonna look around and just... And I guess you have a habit of having hissy fits.
This was Dante.
Uh-huh.
You know that's not true.
So glad
no,
nothing's
that's not true.
changed.
And this
Yeah,
young woman is still just standing there, kind of looking back and forth between all of you, retrieving another hot towel.
And Christina's gonna look over and go, will you fuck off?
I don't think a towel's gonna help this right now.
I don't want one. Thank you.
Anything else I can get you? A shoe shiner, refreshments?
You can get the fuck out of here.
Unless you can get us.
Okay.
Unless you can get us a person called Aiden.
No, wait. I have a question for you. I need to just come here.
I'm gonna put my hand on right shoulder
I'm not supposed to do that.
I'll put my hand on right shoulder and go. No. We do have an objective to finish first.
I'm hungry.
Well, let's get an answer first, and then you can eat. She can't answer if she's dead. No
That's
use.
true.
So, Aiden.
No, Michelle.
No, the question I asked before all of this.
Right. Prince Aiden, yes, he is waiting for you in the ballroom, but we were all instructed, and she gestures up above, which is when the three of you realize that there appears to be a full cadre of staff standing up above, are meant to tend to your every need before you present yourself to the prince.
Wonderful. Well, if you don't want to die, find somebody else for her, and I'll let go of Right.
Oh no, I want her. And I'm just gonna grab and pull in to eat.
The second that Wright grabs her, my shadow tentacle is gonna go around Wright's throat and yank her away from the girl.
What the fuck is wrong with what?
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
If she doesn't eat, she's going to try this on the prince.
Then get her someone else.
As I said.
Please.
I've had a bad night recently.
So have I.
Did you lose your fucking jaw? And now have a longer tongue?
I lost more than that. Fuck you.
I mean, you got really pretty eyes at least now. They're really pretty. I don't know what the thing is, but they're really cool. I like them.
And the tentacle that is around your throat is hot.
I'll look back to the woman and go, you'll probably want to hurry up with that.
All right. You seem violent, so is this like a treat you need, or will you be,
She's going to kill them.
finishing this? Okay, I'll be right back. And she skedaddles up the stairs, taking them two at a time. And you can see what appears to be a senior staff member at the top shake his head at her taking them two at a time.
I just watch her the whole way.
I'm going to let go of Wright's throat and just, without making eye contact with him, move closer to Ezra.
And as you're letting go, I'm actually stepping forward. So we're very close because we move at the same time.
Bump.
And
Are you touching Christina?
No, but I would say, I mean, we're like, you know,
She's hot.
like you're radiating heat.
Mhm.
I just kind of like lean in, like face almost against yours. Where the fuck is Nikolai?
He's never gonna bother you again.
I highly doubt that.
I made sure of it.
Yeah? How sure?
I made a deal with him.
You don't make deals with that guy, not once that you win. Maybe you think,
know.
but not in the end.
It was a deal that was directly for my benefit, and he couldn't say no to it.
Maybe we'll talk more about it later. You okay? And you're very
really
clearly
feel great.
not, right? Yeah, you haven't really given off this level of temperature before, you know?
It happens on occasion. Only
Would
when I need to.
Would I know, I don't have anything in occult, would I know what's going on with her?
Not with nothing in a cult.
You sticking around for the end of this?
I better after what I just did.
Well, like I said, we'll talk more about that later, yeah?
Yeah.
And as you two finish up your conversation, the man who appears to be in charge of the staff is coming downstairs, followed by the rest of the staff. There's about 13 people coming down the stairs towards you. Not aggressively, just a group of people coming down. And this rather dapper-looking gentleman who appears to be in charge of all of this looks at Wright and says, Madam, other than Michelle, who would be your choice? And he gestures to the 12 people behind him.
I'm just going to go over to them. I'm gonna smell. Are any of them ghouls?
Yes.
Taking a ghoul.
Okay. Any random one, doesn't really matter to Wright.
Doesn't really matter. Just as long as
Okay.
it's a ghoul.
Okay. So there's one particular sort of middle-aged man among the group who just kind of offends you with the way he looks at you. Everyone else appears ready for whatever's about to happen, but he just has this, like, no fucking way expression in his eyes.
Definitely.
And you just... right into him?
I think I'll actually go up and... What's the matter?
Nothing, ma'am.
You don't like me?
I don't like this whole thing that you are bringing to my prince's home.
Okay. You do realize you don't have a choice in that. Well, I mean, clearly you realize you don't have a choice in that. So, why not just, I don't know, deal with it? Be happy. For the few moments you have left.
I am dealing with it currently, ma'am.
Do you think I'm pretty?
No, ma'am.
Oh, fantastic.
I think
And I'm
you're
gonna bite him.
All right. He does not defend himself. He does not react. Well, he does react, but he does not attempt to fight you back off.
And I'm draining.
Perfect. There we go.
While she feeds...
so-
Oh, go ahead. No, please
No,
go ahead.
ahead.
Oh, while she feeds,
so-
I'm gonna pull out... Oh,
You feed on him, you get all the blood. Yum, yum, yum.
signal delay. While she's feeding, I'm pulling out my phone, and I'm going to look over to Ezra and just go... And, if he's still talking with her, I'm going to interrupt. Just go, do you want to text Larkin, or do you want to give me his number?
Were we supposed to text Larkin?
No, but I have a bit of an issue with us showing up here and this happening.
Yeah, here's the thing. I get the distinct feeling that texting will not be necessary.
Why? As I pull back. Why?
You ever been set up before?
Drop.
A few times.
Yeah, so this is giving off like all the red flags.
Oh, I know that, but I want him to know that we're not dead.
Right.
I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure he
I'm
knows,
pretty
but
sure he knows.
if you want to, feel free, and I just toss him my phone with the contact pulled up.
And if he's literally going to toss me his phone, I'm just going to text from Ezra's phone. And it's going to go, that was a terrible plan. Send and toss back to Ezra.
You're not wrong.
Larkin, you get this text?
There's a little bit of a pause where you see the ... of a response. And after a moment, it's just 4 question marks.
I just kind of shrug and stick the phone in my pocket. You sold him.
I told him.
Now what?
So, right, you dropped the body, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as I pulled back, I dropped.
Well, now I suppose the ballroom, unless any of you have anything else you'd like to do before we go in. After all, they are here to tend to all of our needs.
Anybody else hungry? Dante, I know you have to be hungry.
Just a tad.
Well, have some.
Anybody
Spite
else I'd
doesn't
hate
taste
to...
terrible.
Anybody else I'd hate to be impolite.
The staff is available to make you comfortable while you are in the prince's home.
Christina? Ezra?
What?
I just gesture at them. Would you like?
Not my style.
Not mine either, but beggars can't be choosers.
I'm
And I'm no
saving
beggar.
room for dessert, so I'll hang
Very
tight.
fair. Very fair. I'm going to whisper to the flesh to the closest one to me to open the throat.
The closest one, the guy who's like in charge and talking to you, or like the next closest person?
Does not matter to Dante right now. He's not looking.
Fair. I kind of need to know, are you going for the guy who appears to be in charge here, or one of the staff that was silently waiting?
I'm probably closer to the staff if he was closer to right, so one of the staff then.
Okay. So you're not feeding on them, you're just...
I'm
doing
opening
your
throat,
creepy
letting
stuff.
blood pour, and I'm going to walk over and just drink from there. I'm just not bothering with the whole presentation at this point. I don't have time for it.
So Dante doesn't see it because he's busy, but this is sort of the first crack you see in this staff's facade as the person who was standing next to this person is like...
I'll just walk up to
This
the
is-
bleeding person and just go, back away, and I'll just start drinking.
And they do. Are you also going to kill them, or...?
I mean, I'm not going to close the throat, but I'm going to just drink down until I'm at hunger 1.
And then just drop them to bleed on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's doing that,
There's-
oh sorry.
No, you go.
There's a bar in this kind of lobby area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to the bar. Well, I was sitting there actually when they came in. Kind of absent-mindedly pull my switchblade out of the bar top where it'd been stabbed down and stick it back in a pocket. And I'm gonna lean over and scoop up some of the ice that they keep back behind the bar, wrap it in the towel that I have, and just kind of wordlessly come back and hand it to Christina, and then kind of step away a little bit.
I'm gonna put it on the back of my neck. Just hold it there for a minute.
Hey Dante, you finished over there?
I'll just look up. I'll look up my face more covered in blood and go, I can be.
Your call. We're all going the same place, and I mean, we got a little time before dawn, so.
Good enough, and I'll just push the person back and walk over towards him.
We have barely any time.
I think
This
one way or another we
entire-
have just enough.
I saw the city on my way here. It is fucked.
How many people can you take with you the way that you just came in?
I can technically take as many of you as I want, but it's more how you're gonna feel about it.
I think we would feel better than
Yeah.
on fire. I can handle myself elseways, but I'm worried about these two.
I mean, being perfectly honest, it is debatable if it's better than fire. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, then I'll let them choose. I can take another option.
Okay, so I would much prefer to like continue to be like this, more or less. You know, maybe you get what I mean, and not, you know, ashes.
I mean, I can't even guarantee that my way either, so.
Well, we can sort it out after we finish this then.
It's
Just
fine. I
thinking
can
of a
find
way
my
out.
own way.
To the ball.
Clearly.
Shall we go to the ballroom then?
So the man who appears to be in charge gestures, and if you'll follow me.
The ice is already melted, so Christina just tosses the rag aside.
Oh, Dante, do you have my sword? I kind of stuck it in him. And then I don't remember.
Storyteller, the sword, if the sword was in him and he ashed in front of me, the sword would have fallen in front of me.
Yeah, sure. It would have been easier to find than a jaw, so I don't see why not.
That's fair. So if I didn't go back to her already, I'll just go and just toss it.
Thank you. Just gonna put it on my side.
And then I will mimic the person's gesture, same fashion, everything, towards the ballroom. If you'll follow him.
And this man turns and he starts walking towards these doors. Sorry, Christina.
How many staff members are left just standing there to tend to our every need?
10?
There would now be 10, yes.
Okay. As we walk by, I'm just going to tap one of them to walk with me, and using whatever roles you feel for this, I want to use conditioned into submission to get them to follow us.
Okay. So when you tap them, they do act like they're going to follow you right away. Do you still want to?
Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted me to make any kind of dominate roll for it, or just condition them immediately.
Yeah,
I
let's
imagine
just
maybe
go ahead
compel?
and yeah, let's just get a quick compel. So that's a charisma dominate from you, please.
Okay. Ooh, Christina is... It's all hunger dice at this point. 3 successes with a crit, but it's all hunger dice, so... Messy.
So messy. So you go to just sort of put your hand on their shoulder, But instead, you grab hold of this person, and your nails dig into them, and to their defense, they do not appear to react or hiss in pain. They just follow along beside you.
Okay, and I have the rules on my side for if I need to use them for anything that I can send to you.
Yes, please do, just in case. Or if you happen to know them when you actually want to do something, that's good with me too. As you've seen, we play very fast and loose with our rules here. So this gentleman starts leading you guys towards the set of double doors towards the back of the room. And you're all following him then, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The rest of the staff also fall into step behind you, just stepping over the bodies of their fallen comrades. And the man reaches the double doors and he throws them open into a large, well-appointed, what appears to be a ballroom. And he walks in. Does everyone else follow?
Mm-hmm. And I'm keeping my broken servant with me. But also it's Christina's trying to make sure that broken servant's on one side and Ezra's on the other side.
Okay. That's moderately easy to do. It's a large door. You're able to, just kind of lean a little closer to Ezra for all three of you to get through at once. Oh no. So this is a very nice room. Dark wood, beautiful floors, and at the far end of the room, on what would probably be like a stage or a raised dais, it's not like a stage, but it's definitely what you would call the centerpiece of the room. And there is a dark-haired man sitting there with dark eyes who gives off just the appearance of nothing short of intense. And he does not appear at all fazed or surprised by you four walking through these doors. And just to the left and about a step back behind him is Larkin. Well, I suppose welcomes are in order. Welcome to my city. Of course, I assume you know who I am, and I don't know any of you at all.
We're your new redecorators.
Right, it's just gonna go, "Hi, friend," and wave at Larkin. Hi.
Are you, looking directly, purposefully at Larkin?
Yeah. It's like, I got a makeover, courtesy of your friend downstairs.
I'm just looking over at Aiden, seeing his reaction.
He does not appear to react to this.
I have a lot.
You know how it is, Father. I tried to get on their good side when it seemed like things were going sideways.
Is that what happened? How did you know they were here?
Well,
He's talking to Larkin, but he's looking at the four of you.
when I had a meeting with Per and he didn't show up.
Ah, Pear.
That'd be me.
Can't trust the Nosferatu.
Oh no, that would be me, and I rouse check and turn into Pear.
You tricked my child. Villainy. Scum and villainy.
I don't correct him.
Larkin, I am disappointed to be tricked by such a simple creature with parlor games.
I guess I've got a lot to learn.
I'll drop it.
Yes, at this rate, you will never be taking over my city. Did you all know that Larkin is next in line for the throne?
We had an inkling.
I'm sorry, what?
I find it kind of amusing that it's patriarchal here.
It's adorable, really. I think you could do with a bit of a matriarch now.
Hold on. My prince, what
Maybe
did you...
they're right. Maybe you do need a sister.
What was that last bit? Let's go back. What did you say before?
Ooh, dibs on being the sister. I mean, it doesn't have to be like natural or anything.
Let them figure out their family drama. I'm intrigued.
Princedom is only the title. It's the kingdom you want to inherit, Larkin. Why do you think you've been in training? Why do you think you don't have a court position? You are being set up to take my place when I retire. I don't want this forever. This is all yours. Or it was before it was on fire.
You're daddy's special boy, Larkin.
Flip side, if there's one thing I know about the Camarilla, it's they're big fans of giving up power once they get it. So this checks out, yeah.
Oh, it's all staying in the
You ever
family.
had power?
I imagine it's exhausting.
It is. Day in, day out, people come here. They want to tell you what they want. They want to beg for position. I don't care. I haven't cared in years.
How long have you been Prince?
A very long time, my dear.
Numbers, please.
He was here when the city was formed.
Oh, many years.
Many years.
So, Daddy Pants is just tired? You want to go softly into that good night?
No,
I
he
have a
has
suggestion. Wait.
bigger sights.
I have a suggestion. My suggestion is, since you're super tired and don't want to do this, and your city's kind of already fucked. Welcome. And clearly, your special boy isn't quite up to the task. I volunteer Ezra, or Dante,
Oh, I don't want it. I don't care.
or Christina, or fuck, I'll take it.
Let's change the deal. Don't kill him. I'll give you details on the Anarchs instead.
A
we met them.
deal? I thought you were tricked by Pear.
No.
That was before. That was before when you were saying that when you were pulling this antiquated restoration of the old city and refusal to accept new technology, all of that shit. That was before. This is now. Now I'm saying you can have the Anarch side of the city.
We met the Anarchs already. We actually made a deal.
Oh, the angry teenager doesn't understand. The
Yeah,
daddy
didn't you-
was the grown-up all along.
So, Daddy dearest, did you not get the memo when I said, "Hi, friend"?
Yes,
also-
I followed the joke.
Okay.
He also still
worried about
thinks
ya.
that he's still thinking in Camarilla terms, offering us sides of the city. Larkin, I can't speak for my new friends here, but I don't give a rat's ass about your city.
Let it burn.
Your bosses do.
I don't have a boss, Larkin. I am my
you.
boss.
You
And
may
besides that, anybody else anybody else would be okay if it's just Ashes too.
you may think you don't have a boss, but you do. There's a reason you're here. You may just be on a longer leash than some, but there's a reason you guys are here.
Larkin, do you know how many people I have become over the past centuries? You spoke to me. I have no leash. My boss isn't here.
Then what are you doing here?
It sounded like fun.
There's
Funsies.
Sabbat, you fool! They're here to burn it down. This is why we don't make deals with them! And I cannot believe you do not know this yet.
Should have spent more quality time with your child.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
bad
honestly,
parenting.
this is on you. You failed as a parent.
Some are
mean-
just wrong for the embrace, I guess.
Yeah,
None of us
some
are
are just
really
shitty
model
parents.
children, though.
I'll look to Larkin with full sarcasm. I just go, I'm sorry your father's turned on you so quickly.
I mean, honestly, look at the entirety of kindred society. We are not exactly the poster children for a healthy raising. So,
Larkin, I have a question for you, buddy. So, you were all like gung ho for, the of Daddy Dearest so that you could take the throne and do the things. I mean, that's why you had us going around and killing everybody tonight. Success, mostly. But I don't know, what was your plan gonna be when you did it? Like, when you succeeded, what did you think was actually gonna happen so much? Like, did you expect that you would lead into the next sunset and that we would just go about our merry little ways? And
the deal was
You know
struck, like I
nothing?
said, with your leadership, and we were going to divide the city. One half of your territory was going to be the Anarch's territory, one half of your territory was going to be our city, basically splitting the city into thirds. It seemed like an ideal layout.
oh, what is that term that I hear before? You know, when people try to make deals and they don't go, you know, it's like a bad guy or pirate, you know, something like that. So where it's like common sense. I mean,
You did kind of hire the Sabbat for like harpy level jobs.
You're a very trusting man, Larkin.
That's
It's-
kind of the problem here. It's a little sad.
It's valuable to some people, just not to us.
Like,
So
Larkin, I'm actually kind of embarrassed that I thought that you were like this big criminal mastermind and you had betrayed us, and this is just sad.
So the
No,
information
Larkin,
that
tell
I
them
gave
what
you
you've
is
spent all night doing.
covering your tracks, setting fire to the buildings to make them look like benign reasons that things went wrong, keeping police attention off you, misdirecting the sheriff, putting people in positions where you could easily get to them. Yeah,
So
I helped you the entire way, thinking that maybe by the end of it, the scorpion wouldn't sting me, and I guess I'm wrong.
We're very
you
grateful
know,
for your help.
Larkin, you know what you kind of sound like? You sound like a really good bishop.
Hmm.
I believe you've been invited, Larkin. Please, would you like to stand with your new friends?
You couldn't have let me in on your plans for the city just once. You had to make it look like everything was falling
You couldn't
apart.
have obeyed your elders for one more year? No!
There it is.
Hmm.
There's the Camarilla. There's the problem. The cracks inherent in the system. Come on, Larkin, baby. I'll call you Bishop.
I'll call you Daddy.
Oh, no, that gets weird.
No, it's fun. It makes people uncomfortable. It's great.
No.
So you said you met the Anarchs.
Yeah.
We did. One of them punched a hole in my chest. He was very compelling.
And you see why it was impossible to strike any kind of a deal with them. They don't want to be on speaking terms. And sit down and obey your elders is the only conversation that we get in court here.
Yeah, it's garbage.
In spite of the fact that I have been putting out fires in this city that are technologically based for the last 12 years, the fact that I have been putting together a system that prevents information from leaking out via the internet, via the cloud. I've been covering Masquerade breaches left, right, and center, and nobody has been listening to what I've been trying to say. It's been sit back and respect your elders, and none of them even know what the internet is.
Yeah.
Oh, let them burn.
So Larkin, I got a question for you then. Why the fuck are you still with them? What is all this for?
I just turned to the prince. What is all this for?
Survival. Status. Power. All the things you want.
But that's
Ew.
in your hands, and even if I got your job, you'd still be answering to someone else.
That's all the
Everyone
Camarilla
has a
does.
boss. They may think they do not, but they will get assigned to another city to do other things by someone else, or they will answer to their own beast, which they have no mastery of. We need only look at them to see that. We need only count the staff members left behind them.
Neither of these is a
Storyteller.
good option.
Yes.
What is the lighting situation like in this room?
Romantically low.
So
Are there
lots of
windows to the
shadow?
outside? Sorry.
No windows.
So there's shadows?
Yes.
I'm going to shadow step myself beside the prince. I'm going to place my hand on his forehead, like checking for a temperature. And
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to use Master the Sin on him. So it's my manipulation and insight versus his wits and composure.
Okay.
Oh, thank God, more than only hunger dice. 7 with a critical. Or like 2 crits making 4. Turns it into 7.
That is 7
Regardless
with
of
a
the
critical.
outcome.
Oh, 7 critical for you too?
Yeah. Sorry, what do you want to do, Ezra, regardless of the
I was just
outcome?
gonna say, regardless of the outcome, as soon as he sees Christina move up next to the prince, Ezra is going to do the same. He can't shadow walk, but he's going to physically, as quickly as he can, sprint towards the prince.
Okay.
I think with us getting the same, you just don't get the willpower damage.
Okay.
So, holding on to his head, she is going to dig in and find all of those fears and guilt and shame and manipulate them and twist them into sickening guilt and hallucinations of his worst nightmares.
And do you also see that when you're doing that, or is it just for him?
I can see what I find in there, but I can't see what it's turning into for him. So, like, I can see what he's scared of, but not how it manifests.
All right. So what you start seeing in Prince Aiden, and it's surprisingly close to the surface. It doesn't take you much digging to find it. He is petrified of leaving history markless. He is terrified of disappearing, of having no one to follow in his footsteps. Really, with Larkin having done this, you're seeing his worst fears play out right here and now.
And so I'm going to lean over to his ear. Her skin at this point almost like a burning heat. And just gonna go, you know, if you're so afraid of leaving this world as nothing, I know the perfect person to help you with that. Right?
Hi.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna do the thing.
All right, well, you're a little ways back, and Ezra was walking up. So,
Yeah,
Ezra, what
that's
is
fine.
your plan first?
It was essentially to support whatever Christina was doing. As I'm moving up, I just like lock eyes with Larkin, and I just say, "We don't fucking change deals. You gotta dance with the ones you brought, you know." And I'm gonna move in and just like physically try to restrain. Hearing her call for ride, I'm just gonna physically restrain the prince.
And the response is just a single step back, and you're right.
While this is going on, I'll walk towards Larkin, but I'm going to let everybody do their own thing.
What sort of vibe are we getting off Larkin? Like is that like what?
Larkin?
Larkin had a bold plan, and this is writ large on his face because he's not enough of a social person that when pressed he's able to keep his emotions in check. He had a bold plan that he executed very well, and now that it is executed, his pride in it, which he was experiencing basically right up until High Friend, his pride in that plan has evaporated, and he's basically like the wool has been pulled from his eyes, and he's realized that like regardless of what he had done here, he was fucked. from the moment that he had this conversation with your bosses or whatever it was that he said. It's very clear and writ large on his face, like the horror of this unfolding, that it would have probably been a simple conversation that would have fixed all of
Reaping
this.
what he sowed.
Yeah.
Camp for you.
And
Yes,
he's not
make a
making
great
to run,
prince.
but you can just see him backing away in abject horror.
So, I think before we get into this right here, we're going to go ahead and take our break for this evening. And we'll see what exactly Prince Aiden's plan is from this point in about 5 minutes. So we'll see you back here then. Welcome back. So, things seem to be going pretty well for the pack thus far. No one's even had any jaws ripped off again. So, Christina, you had just had your moment with the prince. Ezra, you have walked up on, I'm going to continue to call it a stage, because by this point it's certainly seeming like he's taken center stage here. And right, you were just beginning to walk up on this. Ezra, what's your plan here, walking up on this?
Well, after I move past Larkin, as I'm moving closer and I reach the steps, like with each step, a kind of ripple of shadow comes out from under my shoes. And every step it gets a little bit bigger until, as I reach the stage, it starts to kind of like spread and then coalesce and wrap around the prince and myself and Christina, and cover that space in that dark, shadowy shroud.
Okay. And that's just the three of you? You're not including Larkin in your dome?
Yeah, I mean, how close is he? Because I thought he had kind of like done that, like
He's sort of a step back.
Yeah, I'm only like
he's
5 or
not,
6 steps back.
Yeah, he's not automatically included in this if you don't want him to be, but he could be if you chose to.
I would contain it to the three of us. And
so the prince turns and
I just ignore the prince and I just kind of like lean in towards Christina. And are you holding the prince in place? Or is he
I'm
just
not.
kind of being chill so
she
far?
had her hand on its forehead, but once she was done with the nightmare, she let go, so she's just kind of standing behind him.
And can he see me in the shroud?
You do see a pair of glowing red eyes sitting on this throne.
And I just ignore the prince and I walk up to Christina and I assume I'm feeling the heat coming off you even more right now, right?
What are you doing?
I would say you're not doing so hot, but be a fucking lie, yeah?
You got jokes now.
Ow, I've always had jokes, come on.
Yeah.
Oh god. And I kind of glance over at the prince and kind of like try and turn slightly just to shield Christina from the view a bit. I was kind of like,
Why?
you said you made a deal. I figure I owe you one.
Thank you. And I will take his wrist and feed.
All right, how much are you taking?
Let me roll my willpower on that one. Just for how high up I am. Me. Yay for not burning any willpower until the finale.
Smart.
Just rub it in, why don't ya?
Some of us were afraid.
You won't get the achievement now.
Yeah,
so
Xbox noise.
Yeah.
4 with a crit, so I think I'll take 1 easily, and then after taking 2, like, yank his wrist out of my mouth, like, make myself stop. Just... Thank you.
Better?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna need it. I glance back down at the prince.
It's quite romantic of the two of you. Do you have history before this?
Look, this was a good moment until you opened your fucking mouth.
Don't get me wrong, my boy. I have an offer for you. I found that heartwarming.
Yeah. Just deep inside that beating, throbbing heart of yours, yeah?
Creepy
Something
voyeur.
like that. I didn't volunteer to watch. I was a hostage to this, so take the benefit where it comes, my girl.
We didn't hold up your eyes like it's fucking Clockwork Orange. You could have looked away and been polite.
You're literally a foot away from me.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Do you want this offer or not? Because I could give it to the one in the suit very easily.
Whatever you want, Ezra.
Never hurts to listen, but I think you got a couple seconds before more company shows up, so chop chop.
Yes, I do. And he reaches into his suit jacket and takes out a wooden stake and just kind of starts twisting it around between his fingers, spinning it. I love my child, regardless of what this night may have convinced you of. But what he needs is re-education. So whatever he has promised you, I'll uphold that end of the bargain. This city's garbage by tomorrow anyway. You stake him. You leave him here for me to deal with. And you all get whatever it was you wanted.
See the problem. So, hold on. So you're going to give us whatever Larkin promised us?
Well, I assume Larkin promised you my blood. You'll not.
We're not
be
going
getting
off of
that this
assumptions.
evening.
Are you going to give us what he promised us? Nope, no assumptions. Are you
My
going
girl,
to give us...
I have been doing contracts for longer than you have been putting on eyeliner.
Then you should know you don't assume any terms without knowing them.
What do you want?
I want your heart in my handbag.
Then I will take your boyfriends first. Or you can take care of my wayward child, and the two of you can ride off into your wonderful sunset like it's the end of Grease 2.
Grease 2 was absolute garbage, and you know that.
Yes, that is what the Sabbat get. Not the original, that was art.
I appreciate how much of an absolute smartass you are to be worse than a boomer. I appreciate that part of you. I'll give you that. Ezra, this is your deal.
I mean, you
Come
don't
on.
like Larkin.
I don't like fucking any of you. Let me see that. I hold out my hand.
Any hands over the stake?
I kind of just like spin it through my fingers, and here's the deal. A lot can happen. I have a feeling it's about to get very chaotic. We have a tendency to, well, you've seen. You know, who knows what might happen in the chaos, huh?
Who knows what might happen in the chaos?
Could be anything. I just kind of slip the stake under my vest that I'm not wearing right now, but we'll assume I did because it gives me a place to put the stake. I slip it there.
You traded it for a much nicer vest somewhere along the line.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Well, I believe your friend was walking up to puddingify my brain.
She does have her specialty, you know. You can't blame her.
That she does. What's your specialty, my boy?
We got a lot of plates here, and somebody's got to keep them spinning, you know.
Ah, the mastermind, then.
You learn in the kind of crews we run with that there's less masterminding and more curbing the more enthusiastic elements of people's personalities, if you will.
I understand that.
I keep them curbed.
I appreciate that.
Occasionally, they get stomped on that curb.
There's always a cost. But go ahead, return to what it was you were doing. I'm sure your friends are very curious what is happening inside our little darkness here.
Nothing like giving people a sense of wonder. And I kind of let the shadow kind of... It doesn't quite fully recede. It's still kind of like pools and drifts by my feet, but we're uncovered at this point.
So we'll say that during the course of this conversation, which of course Dante, Wright, and Larkin were not privy to, Dante, you were able to approach Larkin to talk with him if you want. Wright, your quarry was hidden from you for a while there, so you're welcome to just be pissy about that or to follow Dante and take part in that.
No, she's just gonna stand there. She stopped about halfway once it all started happening. Actually, what I would have done is turned on Eyes of the Beast myself and just stood there and watched.
I'm fine with that.
And can I have also used heightened senses for hearing?
Is there a role for that, or is that just automatic?
I don't know if it worked. I can't
Heightened
remember if it works
senses
with
doesn't
Ghost
go
Shroud.
through supernatural dampening, so
Okay.
you wouldn't have been able to hear, but
Yeah.
you'd be able to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
have that pulled up at the moment, so I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Heightened
Fair
senses
enough.
doesn't break through supernatural.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you saw what all happened then. You saw the feeding, you saw the conversation, you saw the stake exchange hands. And Dante, during the course of this, what did you and Larkin discuss? Business, surely.
Larkin, are you walking up? Are you looking towards me as I walk up, or are you looking at the shadows?
I think the shadows would have commanded his attention. You would probably have to like come even with it or closer. And like I said, he's not like backing out as though to make an escape. He's just kind of like daunted and staggering back.
Oh yeah, no. So if you're doing that, then Dante is just going to suddenly be like beside you as you take another step back and go.
Oh, fuck.
You know, you are right. There are so many more options.
Okay.
You're an idealistic man, aren't you?
I am, and I guess in this particular case, my eyes were too big for my stomach.
You know, there are those that would disagree with you. There are those that would hold fast to your stance.
Okay.
Cherish overcoming your fears, keeping your word and agreements. Striving for success, removing failure. We're not the two-dimensional figures that people like your prince like to pose us as. We all have differing opinions. I don't match any of my new friends here.
There's a pointed look from head to toe.
We all walk different paths towards the same ending goal.
And what goal is that?
Strength, growth, and true closeness to Cain and your beast.
I mean, besides the last bit, that's sort of what we're going for too. And funnily enough, I think that's what our nature as people before us was driving us towards too. You just added on the Cain bit.
Exactly. You see, that's why I'm different than the others. A key element of mine, well, you see, your sire got it wrong. It's not a matter of having an out-of-control beast. I'm entirely in control of my beast, and it is in control of me. We're one and the same, you see. That is my path. To
do what it wants.
know. To be my truest self. To not hide behind fictions and falsities and niceties and circumstance and ceremony. To follow a way that makes sense at your core, one true way, your own truth. But I'm not here to sell you on mine.
Why are you giving me the sales pitch?
Because as I said, we all walk different paths. You might find yourself closer to my friends and what they strive for. Though you remind me of a more honorable path. Ones who, in this span of history, they'd be more akin to paladins than anything else, standing up for what is right and just.
I mean, I can't deny that that's got a bit of appeal.
Holding to these ideals and not being confined by the pomp and circumstance and ceremony and bureaucracy that you have to deal with here.
Okay, so my reaction was really hyperbolic to a system that I didn't agree with. We can take that as pretty much fact. My sire doesn't deserve this. So I'm definitely willing to have that conversation if you're willing to just let him leave.
You're not going to have that conversation with me. I'm over here talking to you. It's them you should be worried about.
Had a feeling.
See, I don't think you listened earlier when I said I really don't care. I've done what I came here for.
You destabilized the city.
I let my beast run free.
How'd that work out for you?
Beautifully.
Jesus Christ.
If you want to have negotiations, you'll have to talk with the others.
Okay, well,
Or-
they're in a bubble right now.
Yes.
Being creepy, no doubt, and hopefully there's still a bargaining piece in there when they get done with whatever they're doing.
You can chance it. Though, the whole point of the sales pitch is to tell you that there is another way to achieve the goals that you want to do and not have to beg and grovel for your sire's life in the process.
And is that one that's actually on the table?
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
All right, and Larkin turns and strides directly into the bubble of shadow, just kind of like he's going to bust through it, probably at around the same time that it drops. Just kind of like he breaches it, and then poof.
I'll just watch and just go, good luck.
So you guys would be greeted with Larkin like striding boldly into blindness and then suddenly being able to see.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that.
You know, Larkin, I had an interesting little conversation with your Malkavian primogen. Do you want to know what they told me about you?
Sure.
They said that if we did what you wanted, if we let you get the whole city in your grasp, that it was going to be the worst fucking thing that ever happened to this place. Worse than everything we've done tonight. It's wild, isn't it? Your own primogen thinks you're that much of a failure.
Congratulations on demoralizing the already demoralized person.
Oh no, I'm not saying that to kick you while you're down.
Oh, and why are you saying it?
I'm saying it so that you can see what this fucking sect actually is. You don't have to come to the Sabbat. You can run to the Anarchs for all I fucking care. I got a seat in the Bali penthouse for you. Whatever. But never make the same stupid mistake of thinking that the Camarilla has anything for you.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's antiquated. It's falling apart. It serves no practical purpose besides to give power to the elite at the top, the very thing that I've been trying to break down, and even my sire was part of that problem.
So, this is what we're gonna call your big boy panty moment, where you're gonna pull him up, and you're gonna make a solid fucking decision on who you want to be. Because the way I see it, you've got like 5 different options here. So choose your own adventure, Larkin.
What will you do, my child?
I thought for a really, really long time that he deserved this. And it was the only thing I could think of. Escaping the bonds that I was in, and I displaced this whole system to be squarely on his shoulders. And you know what? You guys showed me that that's not the case. It's not where this comes from, and it was naivete to think that it was. That if I went somewhere else, or if I had my own court, that I wouldn't be on a leash. So give me a seat in that penthouse. Give me a seat wherever you think I'd be best suited. Let's just let this be a zero-sum game and let him walk out of here.
Did I hear any of that?
Yeah,
The
Did I
shadow
hear
dropped,
it?
so at this point.
Okay, cool.
So you've heard everything since Larkin walked up to the prince, Christina, and Ezra.
Alright, when he says, give me the penthouse, give me whatever, I'm just gonna be like, have you ever heard of the path of... Have you ever heard of power and inner voice?
No, I don't know anything, but I'm happy to learn about it. Happy to do the... I mean, I don't know. I guess you guys probably don't go door to door,
No.
but...
Oh, I might have
Juggling
pamphlets!
so many pamphlets right now.
I might have
visit.
pamphlets! No, of course
I'll-
I don't have fucking pamphlets.
I'll read the pamphlets. I'll go to the meetings. You just let me know. It's just I didn't have a conversation I needed to have before I strode off on a grand plan and people died because of it. Let's just all walk away.
If it's any consolation, they were delicious. Mostly. I'm pretty sure pear wasn't great.
I've walked up behind Larkin. He was fine.
God damn it. You just big creepy butler energy.
Thank you.
Don't be rude, Larkin.
Oh, I appreciate it.
See? Okay. What do we think? What do we think about that? This is a fuck up of my own making, and one that I want to unfuck if I can.
How do
Well,
you feel
friend?
about hell?
Other people? Isn't that the saying?
No, like the real hell.
I mean, neutral, I guess.
Oh. That's not as fun.
Like,
Here it's
I
warm.
think I was going to be into it? Like, super into hell?
I don't know your life.
I have a couple metal albums, but, like,
Just gonna put the
That's
clawed
close.
hand on Larkin's shoulder as they're
Do
talking.
you have any Lorna Shore?
I don't know what that is.
Oh. Boo.
It's entirely up to my new friends here. If they feel like leaving the person behind them nice and comfy where they're seated. But I'm more than happy to start you on your path if you so desire.
Yeah, I mean, you've already sold it. You know, what's the phrase? Stop when they offer to buy.
I guess there's only one question, though. As I said, it's up to them. What do you do if they don't want to stop?
And I guess I gotta go down like the person I wasn't by making this move.
You would stand and fight for what you believe in here.
Well, you said it best, we're all beholden to our beast, right? And I don't want to die. And I don't want him to die. And my beast is telling me to do both of those things. So, that's the other option.
I feel like you got a few too many options at this moment, so let's simplify things a little bit. How about? And I reach again under my jacket and I pull out the stake and I kind of spin it in my hand and stop it with the point against his chest. In fact, I think we can slim the choices down quite a bit, don't you? And I flip it in my hand and I turn around and I stab it into the prince's chest.
Into the prince's chest. Damn! Alright. That is going to be a strength plus melee, please.
And I can, remind me, I can rouse my blood to add a die?
Yes, you'll add, what's your blood potency?
1.
I think you'll add 2 dice.
No, he'll have 1 dice.
Okay.
Blood potency 1.
And while you're rolling this out, you notice that Larkin, he ducks back in shock, expecting, because he saw your arm cock back. He almost seems relieved that you're taking the choice away from him, because he thinks you're staking him. There's just a moment of relief on his face.
Oh no.
And then shock and horror.
Careful, Larkin. Don't make bad choices again.
I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Now's the
Oh,
time.
I would.
Okay, so that's an 8 with a messy crit.
Nice.
It's a lot of dice.
That is a 10. So, the prince seems very surprised when your direction shifts. It is clear when you took this stake out, he was getting ready to, gloat this up. It's all gonna work out. And then he sees it coming towards him. And since you got such a good roll, he blinks to the other side of the room, and you end up with the point of this stake buried into the back of the leather chair, directly where his heart was, an 1/8 of a second ago.
I'm getting really fucking tired of people who can do that shit.
Is he behind me now?
Yes, he will be behind you.
Where in
but
the room is he?
He blinked over towards the staff who are still lining the back room by the front doors.
Okay.
It's a pretty basic layout, so you've got the throne at the front, which now has Christina, Larkin, Ezra. Dante's pretty close to that. Right's about halfway across the room. The prince is now at the doors.
Okay, so closest to right.
Closest to right. Not
Right.
within, reaching distance, but definitely closest to right.
Within earshot.
Within earshot.
I'm just going to turn and start my tabula rasa. Just nothing. You've never known anything. You are nothing. You're not a prince. You're not the prince. You never were. A prince. The prince. This isn't even your city. You don't know how you got here. Is this even real? Who are these people? You don't know anyone. You're like a child. A small, scared, vulnerable child. And I will make my roll.
Yes, please. Is anyone else going to do anything while this is going on? We'll resolve what's happening here.
Yes.
What I want to do depends on the resolution of this.
Okay.
So
You'll be acting after this is done.
Yes.
And what I
but
do
everyone
depends on
else-
what Larkin is about to say because my hand is on his shoulder.
Fair enough.
My eyes are going up to Ezra as I slowly wrap my hand around the stake that is in his hand buried around it and just gives him an intense look.
Composure resolve is what I'm rolling.
You're not moving it. You're just. putting
I'm
your hand around it.
withdrawing it from where it is.
He's attempting to kind of take it from you.
I'm
or
not
just withdraw
forcibly
from the chair?
taking it from you. I'm just sliding it in that
yeah.
direction. And if you fight me, then it's pretty clear that like he's willing to stand his ground, but he's not threatening you.
Yeah, no, I'm getting that. I go along with it.
Okay. I got 7 on a stealth roll.
Okay.
I would like to come up behind right.
Okay.
So, question there, I'm still holding Larkin's shoulder.
I'm gonna let you hold on. I'm
Well, you can't let him hold on if you're also stealthing up on right.
I'm going to know where you're going if you do that.
Yeah, no, I'm only stealthing from right. Everybody else can see what I'm doing. That's totally
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
And if you would like to keep your
no.
hand on my shoulder, I will not keep you from doing that.
Yeah, so basically the moment that you start to move, I just like arm and then just grip harder.
Okay, then I'm assuming you're holding me in place then?
Gently, but yes.
Don't. Please.
What's the plan?
She's not going to get to do that. He dies on his terms knowing who he is, or he doesn't die at all. I've seen her do this. I've watched it on security footage. I know that look, the last moment before they die. I'm not letting that happen. And you can be in my way if you want. But it doesn't look like you have a whole lot left to put into this fight.
All right. Before we continue that conversation, right? What did you get on your roll?
16 critical.
16 critical. Okay. So she has started, and for all intents and purposes, it appears to be working. You are all seeing that kind of like out of focus, meeting her eyes look. But please continue your scene, which will be occurring simultaneously.
As he says that, I'll finally turn and look him in the eyes. It's not like it's not intimidating intentionally, but you know, at Humanity 2, it's hard to distinguish. And I just go, well, then you're going to have to get away from me to do that.
Fist of Cain. Directly in the solar plexus.
Right.
And most of the energy is not directed at you, it's to knock you away. And I'm with most of that energy. It's a very practiced boxer's punch that lashes out while shifting my feet sideways to use fleetness to close on her really quickly with a body tackle. So I guess we'll resolve that first. But I'm telegraphing this for everybody so they can all react to how this is going, because it's probably
Right.
like a, oh fuck.
Except Right, who is
Except Right.
currently... even if without that stealth roll, though that certainly helps, Right is somewhat busy at the moment.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm assuming, Right, that you're kind of taking slow steps towards the prince closing this distance.
Yep.
So with prowess, now damage is resolved together with the attack roll. Is that how? I know they've changed it a
Yes,
little bit.
you're going to make the attack roll, and the difference is going to be what I take.
add potence to damage. Is that you add potence as dice, or it is automatically
Damage.
added? Okay, I pass my rouse. So that means 6 ag. 6 damage.
Okay. I do not dodge. I am doing 2 rouses. First, Defy Bane. 5 critical, so 6 superficial. And these are the reactionary things. And Obdurate. And that's 3. So you hit. I don't move. Like, feet locked in the ground. Like, you feel it, but I don't go flying. I do sway, though. My hand comes off.
All right, that's all I needed.
Mhm.
So here comes the full flying body tackle.
All right, now, that happens, right? You are doing your thing, and the prince is beginning to nod along, but you're staring directly in his eyes, and you can see that elder arrogance. No matter how well he's playing along with what he thinks this should look like, you can still see that vibe to him. This has not worked. Unfortunately, with your 16 successes, he did manage 7. So you are close. It will take you another round of tabula rasa to try and do this, but you really at this point only now need 1 success for this to work. So go ahead and give me your tabula rasa once more, and then we will resolve your guys' combat, and we will see who gets where.
That is a 10 critical on that one.
Okay. Alright, what are you doing here, Larkin?
It's a full body tackle with the stake driven out in front of me. Basically chucked in like this. I don't anticipate it's going to result in a stake. In fact, that's a secondary objective. That would be only for like big crits, because I don't really, not a fighter in that way. But I am going to Fist of Cain shoulder chuck her to just daze the crap out of her.
Okay. Now, right, you are concentrating on the prince, so you are not going to see Larkin coming here. So, the prince is still standing there, staring into your eyes. Larkin, can I get a brawl roll from you, just to make sure that this does work against right?
Yes.
To make sure you don't miss and go headlong into a wall, I guess.
That would
Like
be
some kind of Looney Tunes character.
Yeah, I would go right through it too, which would be great, honestly. I hope for many successes or a botch. Either one of those is good by me.
If you botch, you're going straight into a wall.
Straight, just Fist of Cain that wall.
Little Tweety birds.
So, sorry, you said it was automatic successes for the potence? I resolved that wrong against you, but that's totally cool, because I didn't actually want to do much in the way of damage to you. So, rouse first passed. And 6 ag.
Oh. Right, how is your health bar currently? Not stellar, if I recall.
I'm happy to
No.
translate that into kinetic energy as opposed to specifically damage, especially if it means I would like, my goal is to just send
Yeah.
her freaking flying.
I'm
He's like
pretty sure that
torpor
would
again.
be
Yeah, I don't feel like that's Lark's objective here, and he probably most of the energy goes into stabbing you somewhere in the mid back with that stake, because I don't think he's combat prowessy enough to stake you while doing this. So like, I'm happy with just like 3 damage and then you go flying. Like, most of it is to knock you away.
Okay. So that's basically exactly what's going to happen. Right, you're staring into the prince's eyes, you're continuing your tabula rasa, when you get struck full on in the back by the weight of Larkin. and it sends you forward. And seemingly without even thinking about it, the prince reaches out and catches you.
He catches me?
Yeah. Who are you? And the darkness starts to close around you again, right? You can feel that coldness trying to seep back in, but you know this worked. Do I live here?
No. I'm your best friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm your best friend. You don't remember? You took a bit of a bump here.
Huh.
Yeah.
Am I okay?
I think you'll be fine for now, maybe a little bit.
Father?
Can I tell you a secret? No, he doesn't. He's a bad guy. He's the one that gave
He
you the
who
bump.
hurt me?
Yes.
Oh,
My eyes go back to Christina and to Ezra.
Your eyes leave?
I'm looking at them.
I'm gonna give the prince a hug. And I'm going in.
no. Okay.
But I'm doing it quietly. I'm just gonna be like,
And he is still holding you, so...
Okay. I give them a look like,
I haven't turned around, but hearing all this, I will also look at them and just go,
This is what happens, Larkin. It's called reaping what you sow. And you see in the Sabbat, it's all about personal responsibility. So we can give you everything. But first, you're going to have to admit that this is your fault.
this is my fault. And I drive the stake into her heart from the back.
torpor, Megan.
Yup. Now, just for the sake of we'll see how the prince is doing, can I get a, I guess we'll go with a dex brawl roll, more just to see how much blood you're getting out of him during the time you have.
Okay.
You're succeeding at it, just how well.
Alright. So, Dex and Brawl, he is kindred, so that's fun. I get to add that. Ooh. That is 10 and a critical.
Okay. So you are doing this very
Do I get to
quietly,
add
but also-
potence too?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're just fine. So you are doing this not only very quietly, but very, very quickly. Especially considering Larkin did just attack you from the back. Mm-hmm. So you are draining away the prince's life. This thick elder blood, too. This is the good stuff. This is that top shelf stuff. When it all goes dark, for the second time in like 20 minutes for you.
God damn it.
Right slumps to the floor, and the prince kind of takes a bit of a stagger and turns and looks at everyone else and is like, "She said she was my friend."
She's a liar, and worse, a hypocrite.
Oh,
The
no.
rudest thing you can do to somebody is to take away who they are.
I don't know what that means.
I know. Now, am I fighting everybody in this fucking room, or are you gonna let me walk out of here?
I thought you were coming with us.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find me.
Tell you what. Tomorrow, brunch. We'll find you.
It's a deal.
Good boy.
I'm gonna walk over to Larkin. I'm gonna hold my hand out. Phone.
What?
Your phone.
And just kind of in a blind daze while he's staring at his sire, just kind of hands it off absently. He probably would have given you anything at that point if you'd asked for it.
I put my number in, and then if there is a breast pocket, I put the phone in and just pat it. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. The paladin thing sounds nice.
You'll be wonderful at it.
And he just walks off in blind, abject shock.
Are you walking out of the hotel out into the night?
Yeah, I'm just walking out the front doors and confusion and shock and can't look at my sire, so.
And the
I'm
prince
going to
watches you
tell-
walk past.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
tell
go
the
ahead.
help that I got to follow Larkin and assist him in any way that he needs and protect him during the daytime.
So the staff member who you had by the shoulder before all of this went down gives a nod and kind of looks at the prince one more time and then just follows out behind Larkin. The rest of the staff are all standing there just sort of staring at the floor.
As they're kind of focused on Larkin, Christina, sending the servant after him, and Dante doing his last recruitment pitch, I want to walk over and kneel down next to the prince, because he's kind of like laid on the ground, like dazed from getting.
Yeah.
Just gonna get him really close. Where the fuck is Nikolai?
Who's Nikolai?
Can I tell that she's wiped like that away completely?
Oh yeah, that or the prince is doing a hell of
Sure,
an
I just-
acting job.
Trying to figure out if there's any bit that I could compel from like the recessed.
It's gone.
It's gone.
There's
Yeah.
no way to really get
Yeah.
it back. You'd have to be a touchstone or somebody that he was incredibly close to. He could try to do some kind of roll to see if there's just a sliver of something of recognition, but the entirety is like, it's gone.
Did you mention Nikolai loud enough that Christina could have heard you?
I was being very quiet.
Okay.
So with that blank look on his face, like my lip just kind of like snarls. And I kind of look at the blood that's on my hand, like from grabbing him and getting close. And I just kind of wipe it on his chest and get up and walk away.
I'll look to Christina and just go, are you taking her or should I? I wasn't planning on walking that far.
I wasn't planning on doing anything, so
Are you staying
you're
here?
one up on me.
Are you staying here?
No, I'm going very far away.
Don't be late for brunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll walk towards right, look down and look at the help. Just go, find him someone he cares about if you want to stand a chance. And I'm going to like grab the stake, like hoist right up and just walk.
Right. Can I get a quick wits and awareness from everyone?
Yes.
Not you, Larkin.
I am not aware. Not you, Guillermo.
I'll burn my last willpower. Why not? Well, not my last, but I'll burn one towards the end.
You're
Is it
very
bad that I got-
last.
Yeah, 6 critical.
6 critical.
Is it bad that I got 5?
5 critical.
5 critical, 2. So right you're still in torpor, so you are aware of what's happening, but you will not be able to interact with what happens next. Ezra, you are so caught up in this moment of not having your quarry, of being denied this fight, that you don't really catch this. But Christina, since you are standing still up at the front looking out the doors, and Dante, you were heading towards the doors, you two see a slight dark hooded figure walking in through the front doors that you left open. Christina, you recognize this figure.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
He's just walking in through the doors. He stops and spares a glance at Dante.
I'm going to look them up and down, and if they don't appear to be any threat to me, I'm just going to step to the side.
And they turn away from you and continue walking forward, looking right at Christina.
I'm going to watch this. I'm curious.
Woe for my city. Woe for Iona's fall. Father, how oft with sanguine stain streamed on thine altar stone the blood of cattle slain, that heaven might guard our wall, but all was shed in vain. This throne is mine by the blood you have spilt this night. I will not see you here again.
Understood. Please know, friend, you can try and warn people, but you can't control people. That's something your clan always forgets. Remember it better for the city.
I take your lesson. I hope you have learned something this eve. I hope all of you learned something about yourselves, or about what you're capable of. Take your boy with the bleeding heart. He will not stay here either.
I just look confused.
Larkin. We have to abscond with Larkin.
From the city.
Yeah.
Storyteller, can I see the doorway?
Yeah.
Like the exit doorway?
Yeah. Larkin was walking out that direction.
How light does it look?
Startlingly so, but not like, oops, I'm gonna be on fire if I step outside.
Like,
Just, uh-oh, we gotta go.
I guess
It's time to put the pedal down.
I guess I'm wondering, is there actually enough time to get out of the city to somewhere safe?
For you could get back to your haven safely.
That's true. They don't know that I'm in the city. Alright. Let's go. I'll talk with him. And still just holding right like this, I'll walk. It just sort of leaned on me, so I just kind of walk her forward. Behind Larkin. I'll put a hand on his shoulder again. Change of plans from the new boss.
And friend, it's almost sunrise. Give us one night to get out. We'll touch nothing else on the way.
See that you do not. If the boy with the songbird's name brings his influence to this city once more, all will be doomed.
Understand?
Leave my new haven.
I am going to very quickly grab Ezra's hand and shadow step away.
All right.
I'll look to Larkin and go, there's a bed for you. And I'll start walking with right here. Actually, No, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm
With
just
right here
gonna
and
point out,
Larkin here.
somebody grab the prince and bring him along. He probably has a high enough blood potency to satisfy.
Yeah, the prince has just kind of watched you all.
He can wake me up.
We can do the same thing again. Just sleep first.
So yeah, the prince just watches you all leave. Dante, you load right into the car. You successfully get to your haven. Christina.
I direct Larkin. I can't drive.
Oh yeah, you tell Larkin to drive. I forgot you don't have your special car here.
I'll drive. I know where his
Larkin in
haven
his
is.
shell-shocked way drives. Christina, you hand in hand with Ezra head towards a safe place, probably outside the city limits with your shadow step, I would guess.
Getting outside city limits to she'll probably stop once she can find like the loading docks basements with a shipping container.
Perfect.
And
So,
she'll actually go inside the shipping container. It's shadowy in there.
oh yeah, I mean those are sealed up.
Yeah.
So everyone gets to their safe spots, their havens, their new havens for some of us, just as the sun begins to crest the horizon, illuminating a city devastated not just by the power of the Sabbat, but by one man's greed, one man's certainty that he knew best and that he could do it better. And for his avarice, many died, and a city burned. The Malkavian Primogen sits on a throne he does not want, and sees a present that he'd already known as the future. And that is where we are going to bring this chronicle to an end for this evening. I want to really thank everyone for coming out for this, and we are going to go ahead and do our last round of outros of this game, starting, as always, with Christina.
Hi, everyone. I have been Christina. I am Ellie Collins. First off, thank you so much, Lex, for telling this story. This was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. You can find me online at Twitter at Ellie_A_Collins. You can find me on Tuesdays, storytelling for ATL by night. You can find me on Sundays on D4 as their newest cast member. You can find me all over the socials, and by the time this airs, you can find my TTRPG Fear by the Fire available online.
And on to Dante.
Hi, I'm Zachary Vaudo. I've been playing Dante Edmonds, the Path of the Beast, Humanity 2, Zemissi. That's my Twitter handle. I've got links over there. You can also find me on ATL by Night on Tuesdays with Ellie. You can find me on Adjacent by Night with Samantha and Lex. You can find me in a variety of places, doing a variety of things. Look for it on Twitter. I am wherever tabletop games are played. And when you see me again, I'll finally have eyebrows again.
And Ezra.
I am Andrew Strother. I have been Ezra for this fantastic night. Thank you so much, Lex. This was awesome. I am available online at Roll Persuasion on Twitter and Instagram. You can check out my website, rollpersuasion.com. I host podcasts when I have time to make them, where I chat with cool people. I play in a lot of fun games, mini games like this, mini campaigns, one-shots, charity streams. Who knows what I'll be doing by the time this airs? Hopefully something fun. But if you look on my Twitter, you'll see it there. Thank you guys so much for watching.
And our poor, twice torped right.
I can't catch a break. I blame it on the fact that the Bruja escaped, because that fucked with my...
That just threw your whole shit off.
Well, that fucked with that... Oh god, I just had the word. Why am I blanking right now?
You know
The compulsion.
nothing.
The derangement.
You are nothing.
Derangement. The derangement. That's what it is. That fucked with the derangement completely, and that threw her off the rest of the night. So Samantha McLarty, and I have been the poorly misunderstood right. I just wanted friends to be polite. That's all. Nobody would have gotten hurt by her. They'd not been rude. Simple.
Simple rules.
Either way, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to be doing with this. I have no clue. There should be a link tree somewhere. So just click that, follow the socials. I don't fucking know, man. Just this way, that way, all around. Anyways, follow the socials. I always post what I'm going to be doing. I'm bad at outros. So next, please.
All right, and that brings us to our last special guest who somehow didn't get eaten tonight.
It was miraculous. I was
I know.
going into it
The guy
expecting
who
to die,
caused
but
all
now
of
I've joined the
this.
Sabbat, so that's worse. Google gobble.
Larkin.
You joined us.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay. I played Larkin, the Bruja son, or child son. Definitions are murky of the prince who has had his brain wiped. You can find me on Instagram at Sounds of 604. You can also find me in a whole bunch of games now. It's the Ghouls Night, which was run by Zach, and also Skin Deep with Lex. Both fantastic games. I definitely recommend you check those out. And thank you so much, Lex, for running this. It was a lot of fun to do this with you. So.
And I was your storyteller, Lex. As always, you can find me doing things, also doing stuff. You can catch me on all the socials and OnlyFans as Redhead Vixen. And as always, except not always because I forgot to say it last game, if you enjoyed our soundscape, our soundtrack, our poster, any of the art editing type stuff on this game, all thanks go to Same Page Media, so please check them out. And with that, our story of chaos and blood has come to an end. So thank you to my players, the numerous NPCs who came in and made this really, really special, and most of all, the audience. So with that, we're going to leave you with just one more lesson. Something that has been uttered only once in 8 episodes of this Sabbat series. Praise Cain.
Praise Cain.
Praise Cain.
Praise Cain.
Bye.